Hello YouTube, Sandra Expeditions here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a video about why I decided to read 30 books for 2021, and I also wanted to do a book haul of the books that I recently bought. I bought about 17 books a week or two ago, and I want to do a haul because these are the books I'll be reading for the first half of the year, and I'll do a second book haul for the other half of the year. But I first want to tell you why I decided to read 30 books this year, and then I'm going to show you the books that I'm reading. So before we get started, this book, The God of Small Things, I had been trying to finish this book for about 3.5 years. I believe in spring 2017 I started this book, and I didn't finish it until December 2020. So that was years. And I spent most of that time job hunting, so I was not reading at all. But it's just like, it's crazy. And now I'm going to jump in and just do 30 whole books in a year. It's crazy. But I was a pretty prolific reader before, and normally when I decide to create a new habit, I'm pretty successful. So you're going to watch me and you're going to see. So I already did a video about my 2021 New Year's resolutions, my COVID bucket list, and I had mentioned that I'm going to read 30 books for 2021. So y'all are going to hold me to it, and I'll be doing reviews for all of it. Anyways, now to the list. Basically why I'm reading 30 books this year, why I'm reading, period, and why I think you should also read as well. So the first thing is character development. I feel like it's very important to continue to grow throughout our entire lives. It's very easy to live a passive existence and to basically live through others. Like, you watch a show and just like, oh, that person is so cool, I want to be like that person. Well, you can if you continue to grow and you continue to cultivate the individual you are. There was a time when, I believe in 2017, I went backpacking for like 2.5 months, and that was one of the trips where I felt the most empty, because by that time I had already exhausted the benefits that you would typically get from travel, in terms that I had already done study abroad. I just did so much traveling before in so many different types of ways, and in this trip I realized kind of that I needed to fill my life with different experiences. You know that saying, a mind stretched by new experiences can never go back to its old dimensions. It was on that trip that I realized that I needed to be filled with books and other character building activities, like meeting new people, building new skills, meditation, just inner work. And yeah, I don't know, I just felt very empty. And I knew I was running away from my responsibilities at home, with the job hunt and different things like that. And I just realized, like, travel isn't going to make me any more interesting. I need to go back home. I need to work on myself. I need to go back to my responsibilities. And yeah, just at that time I just thought, like, travel isn't going to change anything for me. And one of the things that I've realized from all of my travels is that I used to think that people who traveled a lot were going to be like enlightened or something, and that is not the case at all. Most of the people I met traveling are, I mean, who knows? They could be insanely interesting that I just don't know, but like, I was expecting just the most interesting people, and most of them are pretty basic. Like, I met way more interesting people who've never left the city of New York, than people who've been to like 100 countries. So anyways, so like I said, and basically the main thing about reading is that, like, you travel with your mind and you grow with your mind. You live all these experiences through books, and it takes you get to live through the lens of someone else, like their story, their mind, and that is just amazing. So yeah, I don't know, reading just enhances you. It just makes you, I don't know, it just gives you so much to talk about, so much to think about, and so much introspection. So yeah, that's the main thing that I think, the main benefit of reading. And let's see. Also, I want to become more articulate. So when you read a lot of books, you learn a lot more vocabulary, new words to use because of all the books that you're reading. Like right now, this thing is finna fall down. I'm reading The Picture of Dorian Gray right now. This reminds me of Pride and Prejudice that I read when I was in 7th grade. And just the reading is it's so, the vocabulary is so profound. And I just feel like by the time I finish this book, I'm going to sound a lot more intelligent. Like, can you imagine going from not reading in 3.5 years to just reading all these books? Like, I'm going to be on a whole nother level. Nobody can stop me. Yeah. Also, it helps you manage suffering. So I got this book called Meditations. It's about Stoicism, and I kind of understand Stoicism because I've been watching a lot of videos about Stoicism, a lot of philosophy videos on YouTube, but I wanted to go to the source and read this because basically, from what I understand, Stoicism is basically, say you're going through so much in your life and all you could think about is like what you can't do. Stoicism tells you, don't focus on your limitations, but focus on what you can do through your limitations. Like for me, I go through chronic pain a lot in my shoulders, face, neck, and it's idiopathic. It's just constant muscle spasms. And sometimes, a lot of the times, I just want to lay down on my bed and just scroll through YouTube. But I have to remind myself that every day I'm making myself better in some way. Every book that I read, I'm cultivating myself. Every language lesson I do, I'm making myself better, and one day I will hopefully be cured and just free of the suffering. And by the time I get there, I'm not going to just sit around and wait for that day. By the time I get there, I will hope to be a much more better transformed individual. And things like Stoicism teach you how to just live through your suffering, how to just live through the bad times in your life. Yeah, and it distracts you a lot from things. After a while, YouTube gets boring. Also, reading books builds confidence. I had mentioned before that I kind of want that bulletproof confidence that I've only met like 3 people in my life who are just so inspirational because they just seem like they do not care about what anyone thinks about them, and their whole being is confident. Like, I understand you can be confident in different things. Like, I'm confident in tech, I'm confident in languages because I spend a lot of my time doing that, but I just want to be confident in my entire being, and I feel like I can get there by just knowing a lot of things and just by cultivating myself. I feel like when you live your life in the way that you set it out to, when you go through your day and you achieve the goals that you set for yourself, you build confidence in yourself because you get closer and closer to your own self-mastery. Also, I want to use less social media. I'm always on YouTube watching so many videos, and after a while the same discussions just get boring. Like, I follow so many YouTubers, I watch the same videos, Joe Rogan, Chrissy, mad people, just lots of different people. And after a while, it's just the same topics, same celebrity gossip, or all these different things. And listening to them is great, especially when I'm eating. But I want to spend less time just mindlessly scrolling through. Like, sometimes when my favorite YouTubers don't have videos posted, I'm just scrolling through looking for the next best thing, and I can't find anything. So I end up watching a lot of videos that just don't really fulfill me in any way, I want to be better focused. Kind of like how, how they say like our attention span these days, it's just 15 seconds long because we're just so used to doing so many different things at once. Like, even with the advent of TikTok, like, we're just used to watching short video clips. And even YouTube, like, sometimes I'll just watch a YouTube video for like unless it's really, really, really engaging and I'm doing other things, I'm always flipping between YouTube videos, flipping between different things, and I feel like I need to be more focused. Like, even at work, like, I'll be, on one moment I'm supposed to be doing my work that I'm being paid for. The next moment I'm on Twitter. I want to be better focused. Just like how meditation makes you more focused, I feel like reading does as well, because it forces you to read the entire story and stick through, and build those characters and the storyline in your mind. And finally, I want to understand references. So there's a lot of things. So when I made this list, I made this book list back in like at least 5 or 7 years ago, a minute ago during college. Actually no, probably 5 years ago. And I had looked for best books to read in your life, best books for character development, but best fiction books, best mystery books, best philosophy, whatever, books that you should always read in your lifetime, books like that. And some of the books were, of course, the classics, and some of them were like, have you heard of the phrase catch-22? Yeah. Just like how when I read 1984, I had always heard the term Big Brother, like Big Brother's watching you, and I heard so many 1984 references, but I didn't really understand it until I read the book. And now that I hear things from the book, like doublespeak and all these other things, now I understand, like, oh, that's what all these people are talking about. Well, I've heard, oh, that's a catch-22 so many times, but till this day, I still don't know what catch-22 is. But this is the next book that I'm reading after I finish The Picture of Dorian Gray. So yeah, I want to understand cultural references and what things people mean, when they're talking. So anyways, so now it's time to do the book review. I hope that what I just said inspired you to start building your own character and just delving into why you should read books. So I just hope I inspired you in some way. Alright, so now I'm going to do my book haul. Yeah, I just realized, like, literally right when I started posting on this channel, that there's a whole book community. I did not know that there was a book community on YouTube. So if anyone's watching from the book community, hello. Alright, so first book is this, Slaughterhouse-Five. By the way, I don't know much about any of these books because I had read about them at the time when I added them to my Goodreads list, but I like to be surprised by books. So I don't like to read the about. If someone recommends it, I'm just going to read it. I may have some idea of it, but I don't want to know a lot about it. I want to be surprised. So I'm showing you these books, but I don't know what they're about at all. So yeah, I have Slaughterhouse-Five. Like I said before, Catch-22. Next, I have Beloved. I've heard really, really, really great things about it. My mom, she read it. My parents, they watched the video, the movie about it. And I've heard it's a tragedy. Every time I tell my parents I'm about to read it, they're just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, no. So now I'm really excited to read it. I've read some of Toni Morrison's books, at least two of them, back in high school. So yeah, I'm hyped. And this book, I didn't see it on any list. It's called Existential Dialogues, but I saw it in my Amazon cart in the recommended, and it had a good title, and it had good reviews. I just decided to pick it up, so I don't know anything about it. Oh my gosh, The Unbearable Lightness of Being. I have been wanting to read this book for like, oh my gosh, for like 7-8 years, all the time. And I was just like, okay, I have to finish these books first before I get to this one. So Unbearable Lightness of Being is just, I've heard so many good things about it. Okay, so I have Boys of My Youth by Joanne Beard. And I also have Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. I think he's the one who did Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Yeah, I think so. And he also wrote Screwtape Letters. So Mere Christianity. I've heard really good things about C.S. Lewis. So after Mere Christianity, I'm hoping to read Screwtape Letters. Fahrenheit 451. Everyone's on everyone's high school reading list. I don't think I read it. Even if it was recommended by my teachers, I most likely didn't read it. I wasn't the best student, even though I made it to AP Literature or English or whatever. I just did not keep up with the reading, so I'm really excited to read this. I have no idea what it's about, but I've heard great things. So this book, it's a national bestseller. It's called A Long Way Gone, Memoirs of a Boy Soldier. Right here, #1 national bestseller. I found this in my room. I didn't order it. It wasn't on my reading list, but I had it in one of my suitcases. I got it from somewhere. And typically I don't like to read books like this. Actually, I wanted to step back from a lot of Black authors because I felt like a lot of the stories were just always sad. They were about like suffering and just really sad things, like suffering in a different way, like through slavery or different things like that. But I decided to balance my books in terms of like I'll read different subjects and then I'll throw in like a sad book like this or something like that. So I understand that not all Black authors write sad books about slavery and suffering and stuff like that. Like there's a particular genre that I want to start reading. I forgot what the genre is called. I'll put it here. It's Afro science fiction, something like that. Kind of like the book Kindred is on my book list, and I think Blood and Bones. Yeah, I forgot what those are called. So the next book I have is Being in Nothingness by Jean-Paul Sartre. I did not know this book was this big. Like, I don't know. I did not know. This book is going to take a minute. I don't know. It was recommended somewhere, so we'll see how that goes. Then I have Meditations. Mi amor. Haven't even read it yet, but I know it's going to speak to my soul by Marcus Aurelius. Right to the source of Stoicism. And then this is the book I'm reading right now, The Picture of Dorian Gray. And I love it. I love it so much already, and I'm like almost halfway through. I'm hype. Oh, and it's by Oscar Wilde. Chess Story, I've heard great things about Chess Story, and it's super small too, so I could finish this in like a few hours. I love small books. Oh, and so this YouTuber, I forgot his name. I'll put his name somewhere, but he had a YouTube video called 7 Books Every Man Should Read. And I find myself in a lot of man spaces, like artofmanliness.com. I used to be on that site all the time because they focus a lot on like character development type stuff. Things that I was always passionate about, like Fountainhead by Ayn Rand, like that theme of just like integrity and just building oneself and building core values. So he recommended this book on the list, and so I decided to add it to my list, and it's super small. Yeah, it's As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. So yeah. Then we have Souls of Black Folk by W.E.B. Du Bois. I used to read all the Black books. Like, I was like a super Black Power person, like back in the day, like middle school. So I had like all these Black authors on my book list as well. And yeah, I'm really excited to read him. I've read a lot of authors, Black authors, but I don't think I've ever read anything by W.E.B. Du Bois, so I'm hyped. Predictably Irrational. The Hidden Forces That Shape Our Decisions by Dan Ariely. Yeah, I told my manager that I got this book because I was showing him like all of my books, and he told me that it's actually on our company's like book recommendations. So I'm actually really excited because he told me to tell him how it is after I finish reading it. Yeah, and finally, oh no, I have one more. I have House of Leaves here. This book is giving me a headache already. Can y'all see how crazy that looks in there? Doesn't look like a regular, it looks like it's gonna make me crazy. I actually saw someone wrote a comment about House of Leaves on YouTube, and they said that they felt like they were going crazy when they read the book. And I don't know if it's because of through the character's lens or the fact that they have freaking text vertically in this book. Like, I'm just, it's crazy. What is this? So I don't know how that's gonna go, but we'll see. I just know that I've seen that everywhere. Yeah. And lastly, I got Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse, or Hez. So I've been really excited about reading this book, Siddhartha, for a very long time, especially because I feel like I have a lot to learn about Buddhism since I meditate so much. Actually today, I'll be doing a video about it, about my 30 days of meditation, but today actually marks the final day of me meditating an hour a day. And so tonight I'm going to meditate for 30 minutes and then I completed my challenge. So there's a lot about Buddhism that I have yet to learn, and I'm hoping to live in a monastery for like a month or 2 or 3, who knows. Maybe in Burma, Myanmar, somewhere. I'm really excited to learn more about Buddhism. Anyways, I just want to say I'm sorry for making this video so long, but I hope I inspired you all to read more books. I always look for videos try to look for people kind of like me who are interested in like self-development and reading and being passionate about cultivating themselves. So I hope y'all got inspired by this. Anyways, thank you so much for watching me show off all my books. I'm so excited. I'm so hyped to just be filling my life. I just feel like by the time I'm done these books, I'm going to be a whole different person. Anyways, once again, thank you for watching my channel. Stay tuned for future videos about different things. Stay tuned for the reviews on these books. And yeah, anyways, I wish you all the best. Que tenga un buen día. Ciao.